This lesson we're looking at credit cards. So if you have a credit card, it would be really interesting to be able to look into a little bit more, look at those interest rates and make sure you're not paying too much if you're not paying those minimum deposits. But that's how a lot of people get themselves caught out with credit cards, is they think, yes, I have this money, I can spend it, I know I can repay it, but then don't repay it and get slammed with quite a hefty interest fee. So credit card statements contain a lot of information. So this is an example from one of our textbooks. So we can see all the information on here: account number, when it's due, the closing balance, the minimum repayment. You've got all the information here, so the number of days in the cycle, the statement time, due, what the balance is, the credit limit, all the bits of information. As you come down a little bit further, you've got any changes that you've made, so this regards your payments and credit that you're adding onto it. The interest rates, so if you have a cash advance, so that means if you withdraw money, you can withdraw money from a credit card, but it will charge you, as you can see there, quite a hefty percentage. Or your purchases, you get that almost 20% purchase rate as well. So using the credit card statement above to answer the following questions: in what financial institution is the credit card held? So if we look up here, we can see this is here, East Coast Bank. So that is the financial institution that the credit card is held with, East Coast Bank. What's the name and address of the card holder? So if we come back up here, we can see just here is the name and address. So if we fill that information in, we have, is Jane Smith, 75 Valley Way, Wyong, New South Wales, 2259. What interest rates apply to the account? So the interest rates that we're looking at are these ones here. Interest rates, so we have two. They are the two we just spoke about a moment ago. So we have cash advances, which is at 21.6% per annum, and you have purchases, which is at 19.99% per annum. How many days are in the statement cycle? So we look up here, number of days in statement cycle, so there are 30 days. How much does the account holder owe on the card? So if we look up here, the amount owing is what we call our closing balance. So they're owing $121.39. Next one says, what is the minimum repayment? So if we look up here at the top, it says a minimum payment due, $10. Okay, it also has these bits of information throughout, but they normally put those important bits of information at the top there, so it's nice and clear in your face. You're not going to miss it. On what date is the repayment due? So payment due is this amount, the minimum closing balance, and it is due on the 10th of October 2018. So 10th of October 2018. And the last one says, what happens if you don't pay the minimum repayment by the due date? So it says down here, and it's always at the bottom, it's always in small print because then it makes it a bit harder for you to find. Remember, pay the minimum payment to avoid the $9 missed payment charge. So down here we would say, what happens if you don't miss it? It is a $9 missed payment charge. And that would then just come onto your next bill.